Phenomena. Do. Sorry, I got that stuck in my head. Hey everyone, I'm Alexis the Ego Queen. Love me, I know you do. Anyway, today I got Scruffers with me.
Hello!
Scruffers is joining me from Adeptus Adamaris. Well, that's you, so don't really know what you're joining me from. Huh.
What?
Anyway, quick little introduction for Scruff. She's one of the artists that is... You're one of the artists for TTS as well as an artist in, well, real life. If you look over right here, you'll see my chibi Tau chick. There we go. Right there. Scruffers drew that, and it's awesome. If you want to contact or follow Scruffers, please do so. Link will be in the description down below. Anyway. Are you ready for an exciting discussion, Scruffers?
I think so.
So, Kill Team. It just came out. I gotta say, I'm hesitant on it. That's a word, right? Yeah, I'm hesitant on it. I'm not really excited for this, and I have my reasonings for this. And I know everybody's gonna be like, Alexis, Sisters of Battle are not in it. Well, maybe you guys should check the description down below, because we put them in there. And by we, I mean the Master of the Forge podcast did, and Adam is awesome. And Adam is the guy that normally battles with me on my channel quite often, who has beautifully painted models. So, to be honest, it's not because Sisters aren't in it, even though GW did say, oh, it's because they don't have plastic yet. And I'm like, oh, what about the Sisters of Silence? Did they not speak up to be in it? No? Okay. I know, I'm terrible. So before I go into it, Scruffers, what are your thoughts on it?
I always kind of like the idea of Kill Team because I think it's easier for people, say, that are really getting into 40k to do something like Kill Team, which is far less, well, to be honest, expensive. Because you don't have to pay so much for models, and you can kind of like, you kind of get attached to these little models, and they become special, they have names, and like they develop as you continue on with your different battles.
Almost like role-playing. Almost like role-playing.
I wouldn't really call it role-playing. I'd say more like, almost like writing your own story about like your own little group. I guess that kind of is role-playing.
Well, it's kind of like a little combat mission roleplay where you're just playing like only war, for instance.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of everything, kind of like wrapped into a nice, like, inexpensive package compared to the other things that, well, GW sells. Because to be quite honest, an army is kind of an investment. So this is like a little way to try different armies and try little, like, different characters and see which you're more fond of without having to drop so much money onto one army.
That is very true. I mean, I love Necromunda. I had to take that shot. It was an easy shot. I saw it. I took the chance.
Blah, blah, blah.
So, my thoughts on Kill Team. Scruffers, you hit the nail right on the head. It is perfect for people getting into the game. It is perfect for longtime players who want to switch up armies and everything. And that is really cool, and I really like it. In fact, you can actually see old Kill Team missions from 7th edition on my channel if you go way back. I would advise that you don't, because my content sucked back then. But I can't help but feel like this is just a more glorified Shadow War. And if you remember Shadow War, Scruffers, did you ever play it?
No, it's gonna be that fish out of water character and ask you, well, Alexis, do you think you could explain what that is to me?
Well, golly gee, I hope I can. So Shadow War Armageddon was Kill Team. Like, there's no other way of putting it. It was Kill Team. It had pretty much similar rules to a pseudo-Necromunda, pseudo-7th, 8th edition hybrid, and it was a little bit weird. Two armies were massively overpowered, and it kind of immediately killed it. And instead of GW fixing any problems, they just kind of went, here's 8th edition! And everybody forgot about Shadow War. Which is a shame, because I actually really did enjoy Shadow War Armageddon. I thought it was really fun. And that's the exact thing that I'm worried about with going into Kill Team. Because Kill Team has always been one of those games where it's small-scale 40k, which a lot of newer players really love because you just buy a box set and you're good to go and you play. But people like me, I like big games. I like really big games. I like 2,000 and up. In fact, when I watch battle reports online, if it's not 2,000 points, I don't watch it. I look at the armies and I'm like, oh, it's not this is 1,000 points. I'm bored. Because there's not enough to look at for me anyway. And that's strictly my thoughts. Now, getting into the actual mechanics of it, I feel that it is just Shadow War. Like, I've been reading it over, and yes, there's a lot of differences. And I know somebody's going to be like, Alexis, there's actually a huge difference between Shadow War and Kill Team, and you need to learn this because I'm upset. Kind of like when I said 30k wasn't as popular as it should be, and somebody got, like, super heated with me. But anyway, that was a completely different person. He actually went, like, completely mental on me, and this isn't the dozens of other people that have messaged me about 30k and have corrected me. It is still very popular. I didn't really know that because nobody really talks about it. But it is still very popular. Personally, I think Kill Team is going to go strong in the beginning and then die off almost immediately. And here's my big gripe with it. GW is not, like, as a business, I don't think GW is really going to fully support this as much as the fans would want them to. Like, but at the same time, they are now listening to fan interaction, so they might, which would be really cool, and I'm really hoping they do that. But I feel like they're just going to let it fall off, and yeah. But I just see a little bit of problems with some of them. So, one thing is balancing. Balancing for Kill Team is going to be extremely difficult, especially with Tyranids and allowing for Lictors. I don't know how they're going to balance that one. Lictors are very powerful. So I'm really worried about balancing issues in Kill Team. I'm really worried about how the combat's going to play out and game time. If the games can be played in under 20 minutes like Shadow War Armageddon, then it might be a lot of fun. You might be able to get an entire league done in less than like an actual week, which I think would be kind of cool. You might be able to pick up and go with it, and I think that would be really fun. But I'm hesitant on it. And the reason I'm hesitant is because I saw what happened to Shadow War. And I think, like, logically, I think Kill Team is only going to be supported for maybe a year and a half. I don't think it's going to go any further than that. And I feel like Kill Team is stepping on the heels of Necromunda and becoming a competitor with itself. Now, it would be kind of cool if they did a crossover between Necromunda and Kill Team where they got to fight each other. I think that would be kind of funny. That being said, I really don't think it's going to happen. And I was just about to get into Necromunda, and then I got word of Kill Team, and I was just like, oh. So, do I invest in Necromunda, or is Necromunda going to get forgotten?
Mm.
Like, you get my point, right, Scruffers? They're both skirmish games.
No, you're totally right, because the thing is, yeah, they're competing with themselves. Though I would say that GW will be like supportive or not supportive of these, like, I guess, different kinds of games depending on how successful they are. Though, so like, say if Kill Team is really popular, then of course they're going to keep supporting it because that gives them money. Because, well, businesses kind of need money to function, but with your extra extra information to bring up. Yeah, Necromunda technically competes with that. So it's like if people want to play certain games, they're most likely to pick the one that is already more established, I would say. So, say like I have a Necromunda, like Clan Escher. So then it's like, why would I spend more money to try to play a different game if all my friends already have Necromunda?
Yeah. And I see people in the comments saying, what about the terrain? Terrain is cool. I love terrain. GW terrain is expensive. Even when it's bundled in with things, it's really expensive. It's really nice terrain, but it's really nice terrain, and I love GW's terrain. I have like 2 boxes full of GW terrain. I think it's cool, but again, it's Shadow War Armageddon terrain that they're recycling again and again and again. But they actually did release new ruins and everything to go along with, I almost said Shadow War, with Kill Team, and I think that's really cool. So, all that being said, terrain is cool. The 4x4 board, though, is so silly. Why doesn't GW release a 6x4 table mat for any of their games? Like, GW really get on that 6x4 mats, compete with all of the other people doing that, and yeah. I want that terrain, but I can't decide if it's worth $130. You do get 2 starter armies to go along with it. Like, I'm buying Kill Team. Don't get me wrong, I'm buying it. My fiance plays AdMech, and I play Genestealer Cult. So, it is what it is. Also, I have my engagement ring on. I'm really happy about that. Just wanted to point that out. So, Scruffers, if you would get into Kill Team, is there any other army you would like to try?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Like, I typically stick on the Space Marine side of things, but they only really have, like, you can use scouts and stuff, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it's not much that they can move.
If I did, technically, I would try to do something more chaos related.
Oh, chaos. Chaos would be interesting. I know they're releasing rules for Demons and Sisters of Battle sometime soon.
Yes, they do have sisters.
They don't have Sisters of Battle in Kill Team just yet.
Oh.
But if you would like to figure out how to play Sisters of Battle in Kill Team, check the links in the description down below. The people over at Master of the Forge, Adam did make a Kill Team rule set for Sisters of Battle, which I posted down there. You can check it out, and it's really awesome of them. Also, be sure to check out Master of the Forge podcast. It's a really good podcast, and I really like it.
Then probably I would go for Sisters, because, like, I am excited for... Sorry. I am excited for the sister models to be coming out soon, I hear. Like, with the plastic stuff.
That's it.
Plastic sisters.
That's at the end of December of next year.
It's still though.
Yeah, so what you could do, like, well, you could just borrow some of mine. I mean, I literally have 7,000 points of sisters at this point.
Oh my gosh.
That's, like, out of my main armies, that's the smallest.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good question. But, I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about Kill Team. I mean, I feel like right after the League, it's going to die. And that's my biggest fear. It's kind of like when 30k stopped being as popular around me as possible. Like, that's a bad sentence. It's like when not Kill Team. I can sentence correct, I promise. It's like when 30k stopped being popular around my playgroup. It just died in New York. Like, I haven't found a place within an hour drive of me to actually get a game of 30k in. And for me anyway, if I show up to a game store, I can automatically get a 40k game in. Guaranteed. I can get an Age of Sigmar game in. I don't play Age of Sigmar, but I started collecting it because of the Daughters of May. That they're called the Daughters of Cain, my last name. Okay, I thought it was funny, Scruffers. You could have gave me a pity laugh.
I giggled. Was it not a loud giggle?
It was a pity giggle, wasn't it?
No.
I see how it is. You hate me, Scruffers.
No. I thought it was funny.
But, like, to get a 30k game in, I have to go onto a Discord, actually say I want a 30k game in, and then hope that I have the right models and don't get absolutely trashed, because the people who play 30k are very competitive, I've noticed. This is just my play group. Keep that in mind, because last time I said this, people lost their minds at me. Also, I do apologize if you can hear my AC in the background. So, Nooble, you're here too, right?
Yep.
Okay, would you mind reading some of the questions as we go?
Yep. Are you aware your fiance looks like Euron from Game of Thrones?
I am, and he's hot as... Oh, I can't say it without getting, Next question.
Lewd.
Oh, but that's not lewd.
Since you mentioned 30k, do you think its lack of a player base, comparatively, because it is cost prohibitive, again comparatively, and do you think Kill Team will have the opposite effect?
I was actually thinking the same thing. Like, I thought 30k models were a lot more expensive.
The base 30k models, i.e. tactical squads, infantry, is really cheap because you can get it from GW. You can get Mark 4 and 5 or 3 and 4. I forget which marks you can get, but you can get Mark 3. I know that one. But you can get the base stuff. You can get a Contemptor Dreadnought. You can get some of the cooler stuff, but it is all Forge World stuff, which some game stores have a problem with. Other game stores don't. I don't really know the big deal about it. I have almost all of the 30k tanks at my disposal, but I only have like one of each. And I'm trying to up that so that I have all of the tanks, because I really like Space Marine tanks for no reason. But it is very, very expensive to get into. And that's why Forge World is having such a problem with ChinaCast.
Yeah, the price increase alone would be what would kind of keep people out from getting those old or 30k models.
Well, it's like, do you want to buy a Storm Raven for $85? No. Well, how about a Fire Raptor for $115? It's like, no.
Pretty much.
Do you want to buy a Rhino for $35 or a Rhino for $53? No, I could just buy a Razorback.
Question?
Oh, and the opposite effect with Kill Team. Unfortunately, I think it's going to have... it's going to introduce a lot of players to 40k, and I think that's cool. That is awesome. The problem is, I think the main players of Warhammer 40k are not going to be interested in it too long. Like, once you get your Kill Team down and you start figuring out the game, it's going to be more of a rock, paper, scissors versus an actual... Like, that's how I feel. Because every time I played Shadow War Armageddon or older Kill Teams, I used to go in with Warrior Spam, or which Warrior Spam was really popular in Shadow War, and Grey Knights in Shadow War, which are ungodly overpowered.
Oh, it's Grey Knights. Of course they were overpowered.
That was the only thing that they were good in, by the way.
Tragic noises.
Okay, next question.
Isn't one of the major issues for 30k is that many of the models are expensive and not allowed in normal tournaments?
To the people that don't allow for 30k models in normal tournaments, like Forge World models in normal tournaments, they're not really that good. I'm just going to put this out there now. I use a lot of 30k stuff. I use a lot of Horus Heresy stuff. I use a lot of Forge World stuff in my battle reports. They're mediocre. Like, they're not great. They're not like this amazing thing that can't be stopped. It's Honestly, like, the greater demons are pretty much useless. They're too weak, which is really funny to say. Most of the Imperial vehicles aren't that powerful. There's a few exceptions. Actually, no, there isn't anymore, because the Imperial Knight Castellan exists, which is better than a Shadow Sword in every single way. Except for firepower, just raw firepower. But yeah, like, I really don't think Forge World is overpowered, so I'd allow it in a tournament. I mean, most stores don't because they can't sell it. Okay, next one.
Okay. Why would GW constantly introduce similar style games rather than focus on a single one and polish it?
I think GW is taking, honestly, they did this with video games throughout the last few years. If you notice, they take kind of like a shotgun approach to making video games, where they gave like little pieces of their IP to groups all over the place to see who could do what with it. And when they actually did find somebody that was good at it, they gave them more money so that they could make a sequel, i.e. Battlefield Gothic 2. Which I'm very excited about. Inquisitive Martyr is actually a pretty decent game. And you have
Vermintide as well.
Say what?
Vermintide.
Vermintide is also very popular. Blood Bowl. Which I think is the most popular of the video games. But anyway.
Yeah, I would say so.
I'm thinking they're doing the same thing with their specialist games. So you have things like Titanicus, which is going to die out in like 3 months. You have things like Necromunda, which is slowly losing popularity. Slowly, I'm not saying it's dead because somebody's going to scream at me. Anyway, now you have Kill Team, and then soon you'll have... it's going to keep going. We're introducing Inquisitors into... not Inquisitors, or Traders into Kill Team, which I think is kind of neat, actually. But they're kind of releasing all of these within the next 2 years, and I think that's a very big mistake. I personally think GW should wait like the 2 years and then release one of the other things. Also, Dawn of War doesn't fall into the category of games that I said before because they actually had a full license. Just saying.
If you want to talk about like a kind of pointless game that's going to die very quickly, that Titanicus game.
Oh yeah, I love, you know what?
It's really stupid.
I can't wait to play as a Warhound Titan.
Yeah, except for the problem is you can only play with other people who also decide to buy the game, and it's already a side game that you can't use those Titan models with anything else. So it's like, what are you gonna do with them?
Yeah.
Who's gonna play with you? It's like, the problem with tabletop is that you have to have another player. You can't play by yourself. So it's like that. It's completely. For like I said, because I treat like these armies as investments. I'm like, that is a very pointless investment.
You know what? I fully agree, and I'm still gonna get it. Look, here's a game that instantly died. Space Hulk.
Is that actually? I thought that was a video game.
It is a video game. It is actually a pretty good video game, but I'm talking about the board game, the tabletop game.
Oh, I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah. Alright, next question.
Okie dokie. Has Magnus 2.0 started painting his AdMech army yet?
My god. No, the Adamec army is in my my actual room. I want to send it out to somebody that I think can pro paint it at a level that I really want it as, and my Victor will get it, and it'll be a pro painted army, and I'm really excited about that. Oh, also, if anybody would like to ask a question and get it answered immediately, or support the channel, you could use the super chat feature. It goes a long way to help supporting the channel and keeping my lights on, my AC running, and that weird curtain thing in my doorway. which a lot of people are going to point out, but it's so that I could leave my door open and get AC into both rooms. Anyway, back to
now
this.
I have to look. Oh, there it is.
Next question. What do we got?
Wouldn't Exodite Eldar be a good faction for Kill Team?
Exodites are always a cool thing. One of my friends is building an Exodite army, and I'm really excited to actually see it because I want to build a Kroot mercenary army where they're riding dinosaurs and the Eldar are riding dinosaurs, and then it's a dinosaur fight. Then you just blare the Jurassic Park theme song the entire time.
It has to be the kazoo version, though.
God. Anyway, next question.
As someone who doesn't have a car and limited money, is the model set of 40k worth bothering with?
Is the what?
The model side of 40k worth bothering with?
The model side. Like actually building, painting, and collecting? If
I
so.
believe that's what the...
If so, absolutely. Like, I have 12.5 armies that nobody will ever see on the channel. In fact, there's an army literally behind me that's going to be painted as Blood Angels. You'll never see them on the channel. Actually, that's out of commission, but yeah.
But they are on the channel.
Yeah. Oh, shoot, you got me. No, but like, for instance, like looking over at the side, I have Marathi, I have my Daughters of Cain, I have my Slanesh army, I have a bunch of Raptors. You won't see these on channel. Like, I just collect them. Like, I really like the collecting aspect of Warhammer. If you go through a bunch of my pictures on Facebook or Twitter, also you should follow me on those, you can actually see all of the models I have in my collection that don't do anything but collect dust, and I love them.
Well, see, like, that's a reason why I say you're willing to buy, like, Titanicus models, because they're pretty. I admit that they are very pretty looking.
Yeah.
So it's like... Yeah. Go ahead, sorry?
No. Go.
Oh. I was just gonna say, like, that's a reason if you want to buy it, but I think if people are, like, actually wanting to be like, yeah, I want to play this game, it's like, please make sure that you and another person are actually, like, really wanting to play it, because otherwise it's like you're just gonna have an army, and it's just gonna be some nice paperweights, some nice decoration, but nothing more.
I mean, tell you what, I will actually put Titanicus on the channel if I get enough donations for it. But otherwise, I don't really know if I want to get it or play it or do anything with it. It's just kind of there. It's like, there it is. I could buy it. It's kind of the same how I feel about Necromunda. Like, I was looking at, what are the dudes, that look like guys out of, the first Mad Max movie? No, not the first Mad Max movie. They look like, oh my god, I can't remember. House Orlok, I think? Yeah, Orlok. I really want to get them to use them as Space Marine scouts for the Emperor's Bastards for the channel's chapter, which is the Sons of Garrow.
Aren't they a little big for that, though?
Whatever. They're scouts. They're gonna die quick.
You must feed them good, make them big and strong.
I mean, in all fairness, in the lore, there are humans, not Ogrins, humans, nearly the size of Space Marines. It just depends on the world.
It also depends on who's writing about the Space Marines, because sometimes they're like just a little bigger than the average person, and sometimes they're like 8 feet tall, or sometimes even 10.
And sometimes women talk back to them about making female Space Marines. That's a thing in a novel, by the way.
It made me quit reading the book. It was stupid.
You know, I read that chapter and I was just like, I have no interest in this Space Wolf book. I'm just saying.
I could go on a tirade or a rant about why I think female Space Marines are stupid, but
you know, that's okay. Who would like to see a video about me, well, Scruffers and I, ripping apart the idea of female Space Marines? You can chat, I need you in on this. If you're watching this after the live stream, I need you to comment down below if you would like to see a video of Scruffers and I tearing apart the idea of female Space Marines. Just
do it. Please. I want to rant about them because I have so many problems with them.
Now, granted, I think we both agree that if somebody said, these are my female Space Marines, when they showed up for a game, you'd probably just be like, okay.
Oh yeah, that's not a big deal at all. It's not like be like, oh my gosh, you have female Space Marines, how dare you?
Oh,
I don't give a shit.
I think we need to. Remlace did it. No, he didn't. Anyway,
Huh?
Remlace doesn't really play the game. Like, I love him to death, but he doesn't play. Okay, everybody wants us to do this.
Yes!
So I think I found our next little rant.
Hooray!
Alright, so. Next question.
Next question it is. Do you think that the individual kill team prices are reasonable by GW standards?
The individual kill team?
Like
no.
for a tournament?
I mean, $130 for the intro of Kill Team is okay. The $35 case, though, that I'm really interested in. That I really like. But overall, not really. Same. Okay. Next question.
Wouldn't more video games be a better way to introduce new blood into 40k because of the money saved?
Alright, let me explain something really quick. Video games cost a lot of money. Alright? That's first off. They usually don't make a profit unless they're Grand Theft Auto. Aside from that, you could release 5 good... Let's go with this. Yeah, we'll say 5 good video games. Dawn of War, Dawn of War 2, Dawn of War Soulstorm, Winter Assault, and the other expansion. We're not counting Dawn of War 3. But if you release 5 good games and then 1 crap game, Dawn of War 3, it kills the series. Like, more people like to complain versus get to use.
Oh gosh, sorry, that's my sister.
More people like to complain and get mad at one game in the franchise, and they will refuse to play any games in the franchise. And that could actually have lasting and damaging effects on the IP in general. So even though you released a bunch of new games, a bunch of really good games since Dawn of War 3, like Battlefleet Gothic, like Inquisitive Martyr, you still have that stigma of Dawn of War 3 nearly killed the video game industry for 40k. And it's one of those things. So, no. I personally think they should give it to a company that has made really successful games and go from there.
Also, like, it gets people introduced to, like, the lore and being interested in the lore, but I'm not entirely sure that will always translate to them wanting to go and actually buy models. Because, well, it's different to play video game than it is to actually go to a store and buy, like, models, play in person and all that stuff. It's a different beast.
Well, a lot of people don't like to hear this, but to the people that strictly play the tabletop, the lore is not important. Like, the lore is just something to be interested in to maybe buy another character. But that's them. Then there's the people who play the video games, and they don't really care about the lore at all either. And then there's the people that do care about the lore, and they're very passionate about the lore, but usually they don't read all of it.
Well, how can you read all of it? How long has, like,
let's not talk about it.
40k been around?
25 years? 27 years now?
It's a lot of books.
Yeah, it is. I think I have, like, 70. Yeah. Alright, next question.
What do you guys think about Horus Heresy combining with 40k rules?
7th edition kind of toppled the game.
What?
Just saying. Horus Heresy is 7th edition, with a few more tweaks to it. That's really it. So, I would say no. I mean, you can play everything that you can play in 30k, except for the characters and some of the special slots, in 40k already. So, yeah. Okay.
Next question.
Yep.
Okay. Are the 30k rules that different?
Yes, it's 7th edition versus 8th edition. This whole point. You really have to just reread 7th edition. It's played very similar. But yeah.
If you were to come up with a strategy for Forge World to reduce their prices on their miniatures, how would you do it?
Oh, tell them not to mark it up 400%. That would do it.
The thing is, for Forge World, isn't that technically their premium products?
Technically, yes, it is premium product, but at the same time, it should be based more on supply and demand. And if the demand is really low, the product's value shouldn't be that high. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how else to put this. Like, Forge World is too expensive.
I know it totally is. It's just when they already have the idea in mind that if a product is supposed to be like the premium one, they're less likely to want to reduce it because it's supposed to have that kind of
elitist mentality with it.
Yeah, it's like why people go to Starbucks to buy coffee. It's like because it's a status symbol. So when you start tampering with that, it can upset people a lot.
It's true. Alright, what do we got for the next one?
What would a Warhammer 40k / fantasy Axis and allies look like?
Wow, you went all robot. But I understood the question. An Axis and Allies version of 40k would be epic. That's really it. And that actually existed, and it was pretty popular. It introduced a lot of new things, like the Spartan Land Raider, and a bunch of the newer tanks and everything, including Titans. Knights were introduced, and a whole bunch of new things finally hit the tabletop. In fact, we actually had 4 of the Demon Primarchs, including Angron, Fulgrim, Mortarion, and Magnus. But yeah.
Am I still robotic?
No, you're not.
Okay, I want
I can hear you loud and clear.
Alright, and next question.
Yep.
Do you like some of the models, some of the model work people have done to turn IG stuff into World War II models, like the half tracks?
Some of it, yes, but I know a lot of people have turned them into a certain group, and I don't like those. But for the most part, I actually did get the Krieger tanks just to make my my guard look a little bit more realistic. And yeah, like, I really do like the conversions. I like people using Leman Russes, but using the chassis of a Chimera because it looks more accurate to an actual tank versus the Leman Russ. Or when people twist the chassis of the Leman Russ, turn it around and put all the guns facing forward, and it actually does look like a tank. I really do like those, but actually there is no but. I really do like them.
I've always kind of thought that the 40k tanks look a little silly. Like, they don't look like tanks. They look like squares.
Well, I mean, don't you know that flat surfaces deflect missiles? And bullets?
Sure.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, you shoot a missile launcher at a flat surface of a vehicle, it's not going to pen it. The flat surface is going to stop it, obviously.
It's gonna bounce off like throwing a rubber ball. Duh.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Personally, I would never ride in a Land Raider. That thing is just a rolling death trap. Like, I get that it has shielding plus force fields and everything in the lore, but my god, if one missile gets through, it's done for.
Also, that just puts more... oh my gosh, the word escapes me, but it's gonna strain the shield. There we go. It's gonna strain the shield if it's flat.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you want your shield to last or not?
I mean, in all technicality, the tanks are usually just picted as being longer and shorter, so the sizing makes a little bit more sense. But No, is the answer to that. Also, I think the worst designed tanks in the game are the Eldar tanks because you literally can fire right into its engines and kill it instantly. And the cockpit is completely exposed.
How else are they supposed to show off their luscious hair blowing in the wind?
That's true.
It's not a tank, it's a convertible.
Anyway, next question. It's a convertible.
What about Creative Assembly? They've made tons of good RTS games, ranging from 4X games like Total War to action RTSs like Halo War 2.
I would actually like to see them get their hands on it. If THQ did that well with Space Marine, I would love to see a company do an actual linear story. Personally, I would like to see the story of an Inquisitor and their acolytes versus the story of a Space Marine, for instance, because I think that would be more interesting. Or even the story of a rogue trader.
The thing, though, is that Space Marines are kind of a unique concept, so they tend to stand out more in comparison to, like, an Inquisitor. Like,
Yeah.
a Space Marine is more distinctive. Like, when I go to the hobby store, like, near my house, they have, like, a big poster of a Space Marine, and you can friggin' see him. Like, he stands out.
That is true, and that's one of the unfortunate things. Like, I'll never get an Acolyte game, which I think would be cool because of the amount of customization you could put into it and everything.
Oh my gosh, imagine if, like, the creators of, like, Divinity made that. That would be really cool. If anybody's played the Divinity 1 and 2, like, they did really good with the RPG stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
without a doubt.
If they did a 40k thing, I would be incredibly happy.
All right. Next question.
Good okay. What is your opinion on the Teen Titans trailer and the Shazam trailer?
I never liked Shazam.
Wait, which Teen Titans?
And the new Teen Titans, the live-action Teen Titans, where Raven looks like she's 400 pounds. Starfire, I don't even know what the hell is happening there. I
thought you were talking about, like, the Teen Titans Go one for them.
Did you see
like,
that
they
got
go to the
100% on Rotten Tomato?
How? It's not even out yet, is it?
Apparently. I think your sister summed this up perfectly.
She does that.
Like, you could literally walk into any convention, pick out the Teen Titans, and just say, do Teen Titans stuff, and it would be better. Shazam, I just think Shazam is stupid. Except for that time where he got his face melted by Superman. That was awesome.
What even is Shazam?
Yeah.
Is anybody sick of superhero stuff? Because I'm really sick of it at this point.
Yeah, like, if it's not Marvel, I don't really care. And I really like Marvel movies because of Chris Pratt.
I mean, Chris Pratt is just...
He's hot.
Yes,
like,
yes, he is.
That's why he's in the movie. Because it makes people watch the movie.
Yeah. Anyway, what do we got next?
What does it seem almost all the vehicles in 40k are horribly designed, with Space Marine flyers being bricks?
Space Marine flyers, surprisingly, would actually be able to, like, use Veto to fly. Like, the way their engines are set up, I saw somebody do this with a plane simulator. They actually designed and overthrusted the Space Marine flyers and actually got it to stay balanced and take off. There's a video of it somewhere where a Thunderhawk is just, like, perfectly balanced and can freaking turn on a dime. It's scary.
I mean, it would just require a lot of thrust, like, in the back.
That's why they have their magical, you know, Prometheum, which they never describe. It's just magic. It's magic fuel. Shoot your face.
Magic. Don't gotta explain anything because it's magic.
Next question.
Yep.
If you were an Eldar Banshee, would you keep the red hair or give another color?
Why would I change the color of my hair? My hair is beautiful and perfect in every way. I love my hair. Would never change my hair. I've dyed my hair twice in my entire life. And both of those have really funny stories. So the first one, I dyed my hair back when I ran track in high school. I dyed the top part of my hair black, but the inside layer, I dyed it blonde. So when I tied it back, it just looked like it was black hair. And then I would take off the hair tie. And when I started running, my hair would go up, so it looked like I turned Super Saiyan.
Okay, that's kind of awesome.
It is! And the other time is I dyed my hair purple so I can cosplay as Missouri from Rosaria Vampire.
Nice.
Oh,
I thought Prometheum was just gasoline. No. No. Your sister is just killer.
I'm so sorry. Like, I can tell everyone else to be quiet, but she's just laughing in the other room.
Yeah, she's awesome. Alright, what's the next question?
wouldn't a 40k? Well, wow, I already messed that up really bad. Wouldn't an XCOM 2 style game where you either play as IG insurgents against Tau or a Chaos Uprising on an Imperial world be cool?
Yeah, I love those games plus mods. That's awesome. I would like something original, but, you know, copying something that's popular is cool. I really want a more original game. Like, I know this is going to sound, like, completely hypocritical, but The Last of Us was one of the best games for a reason. If I can get that level of storytelling in a video game with 40k, awesome.
Which one was The Last of Us again?
Last of Us is the one with Joel and Ellie as they go through a post-apocalyptic America. With the clicker, zombie, fungus, vampire guys.
I wasn't too impressed by that game.
I loved it.
I think it was more on the mechanics side I found kind of annoying. It was very scripted.
Anyway. What is the next question?
Have you seen Justice League? If you saw it with Viggy, how hard did he laugh? Did he laugh when Aquaman tried to speak Icelandic?
I purposely avoided Justice League because nothing in it looked remotely good at all. Like, I thought Wonder Woman was a trash tier movie. Like, I was like, wow, I love Captain America. This is amazing.
Captain America.
That's all it was. She even threw her shield. Like, come on. That was just Captain America in World War I.
But she's a lady, and Captain America is a dude.
I know, right? I should praise that movie for bringing a powerful female lead into the fold and show how amazing she is. No, I felt that Wonder Woman was far too stupid. Like, she felt like a ditzy blonde the entire movie. She didn't realize an obvious mistake, and she kept going after, like, she had a one-track mind regardless, and the scenes that were supposed to be funny were, like, really stupid. Like, I thought the movie overall was just garbage. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that, but it really wasn't that good. Like, you go back through it, it's not a good movie. Like that scene where she ran across the trench line with her shield in front of her. I was like, wow, Captain America lost weight.
Was that the one where it looked like she was on a treadmill, like flying forward? Because I was gonna mention that looked like garbage.
Yeah. And one of the other things that I didn't like about that movie is everybody, for some reason, tried to shoot her in the chest, even though they saw that obviously wasn't working. And all I could picture is, like, the one guy who decides to shoot her in the ankle. And it's just like, that was easy. I mean, if it just bounced off her, I'd have been like, okay, cool. But no, it was just bad. Like, it was bad. The CGI looked terrible. The jumping around physics looked awful. The fight scene at the end was terrible. The guy died for absolutely no reason. Like, Wonder Woman could have just, you know, grabbed that plane and threw it. Like, you want to show how powerful she is, show how powerful she is. Don't mess around with it. Like, I'm going to make a noble sacrifice, just like Captain America did, except it's not going to be the main character.
But you have to have tragedy, so the love interest has to die. See? We just subverted your expectations. Because it's the woman that didn't die, it was the guy. Oh.
Yeah, but you want a very powerful female lead in a movie? Look at Jurassic Park. Rexy, Blue, amazing. Very powerful women. Indominus Rex? Come on.
Gosh. I was gonna say, actually, the Alien movie.
Yeah, Ripley was amazing.
Yeah, she was so cool. Oh my gosh.
And there are cool female lead characters. Wonder Woman is just not one of them. She just kind of blundered her way through everything and then used brute force.
I think it's kind of funny that Wonder Woman is seen as this, like, feminist icon when she's kind of incredibly bland and has never... I don't know, have you ever heard, like, a little girl ever be like, yeah, I really like Wonder Woman! I want to be just like her!
No, Wonder Woman is the character you introduce to a comic book fan as, oh yeah, this is the character that can pretty much do whatever. Oh, is she super strong? Yeah. Is she super fast? Eh, sort of. Is she, like, intelligent? Eh, not really. What does she have going for her? She's a woman.
Boobs.
Okay. Sarah Connor from Terminator 2. Thank you. And you want to talk powerful women? Look at 40K. We have Titan commanders, ship captains. We have freaking Latara Sarin. Come on.
Latara Sarin's spooky.
Oh, that girl smacked a... She smacked a captain.
Yeah, she was cool. I even got someone commissioned me to draw her for the video, and I was like, oh my gosh. I didn't know who she was until I looked it up. I was like, this girl's a badass.
She's really cool. She's one of my favorite, like, female lead characters. I would put Celestine in that list, but no.
Well, you know, before she was killed pathetically by Korn, I think.
Karn, but yeah.
Karn. Oh.
I know, I get those two names confused too.
All you have to do is remember that Karn isn't a vegetable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was terrible.
You should feel bad. You should. Alright, what do we got for the next question?
How much go-go juice do you need before you get the sequel to Karn being gay for Kane?
I was kind of hoping that people forgot about that. No, so one time I did this whole rant in my Discord about like the over-masculine characters in 40K are just closet homosexuals, and it was really funny.
I'm perfectly okay with this.
Oh dear.
Anyway,
no, not all of them.
Moving swiftly on from that.
Don't touch my puppies. They're mine.
Scruffers. Scruffers, we all know.
Anyway, moving swiftly on from that. I think that is the end of the questions, isn't it?
There's two more.
Okay.
But they're just not really a lot coming in.
Well, it's about time that I need to head out so we can go over the two questions and then I can go.
Yeah.
Okay. If the Tyranid Ravener box was remade to make two units, like the Zoanthrope and the Venomthrope box, what second unit would you have?
I have no idea. Like, Raveners only really do Ravener things. Kind of got nothing. Maybe Flying Warriors? That'd be kind of neat, but no.
I've never even, like... I know nothing about Tyranids, so I have no recommendation.
Yeah. They're kind of in, like, a unique hole where they can't really make anything else aside from Raveners. So I got nothing there. Sorry.
I like the ones with the bat wings.
Gargoyles?
Yeah.
Gargoyles.
They're cool.
Alright, and the last question.
Should Wonder Woman be renamed to Newbie Woman?
Yeah, pretty much. Or Wonder Bread.
Please don't.
see. Someone thought it was funny.
Anyway, guys, that is going to wrap it up for this live stream. I'm glad that you guys all joined me. I'm glad that Scruffers joined me. I want you guys to check out her Twitter. She also does commissions on occasion. I don't know if she actually still does it or if I'm just advertising for her for no reason. Both could be true. You'll just have to ask and find out.
Ooh.
But seriously, go and check out her work. It's really, really, really good. You get cute things like this. Wait. There it is! Yay!
Yay!
She also did the art for Inquisitor Lockwood, or Rosalina Lockwood, from the Queen's Court series. And she's an amazing and talented artist. You should definitely check her out. She's funny as hell, and I love her.
Thank you. I got me too.
Anyway, Nooble, thank you for taking questions, and thank you, everybody in the audience, for asking all the questions and joining us for this episode. As always, I'm Alexis the Ego Queen. I love you guys. Bye.